Let's move on now. Even as Canada begins sending medical aid to India to help battle the deadly second wave of COVID-19 infections, its High Commissioner Nadir Patel has called for collective action to deal with the crisis. Speaking to our principal diplomatic correspondent Sidhant Sibal, Patel says that COVID-19 will only be defeated when all countries have defeated it. Let's listen in.
Well, India is getting assistance from across the world, and Canada is no different. Assistance from Canada has arrived, and with me is the Canadian envoy to India. So welcome to WION. And my first question, an obvious question, is what kind of assistance Canada has sent to India?
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for being here. Our first consignment arrived yesterday afternoon. We're sending 350 ventilators, 25,000 vials of remdesivir. In addition to that, Canada has contributed to the to UNICEF to acquire 1,450 oxygen concentrators. We also contributed $10 million to the Red Cross, the Indian Red Cross, through the Canadian Red Cross in order to arrive here really quickly and allow the Indian Red Cross to start procuring additional supplies. That was done a couple of weeks ago. In addition to that, there's been an outpouring of support right across Canada. The province of Ontario, the province of Saskatchewan, another 3,100 ventilators. Private sector companies that are active in India have donated millions to local organizations, the Red Cross, Care Canada, and individuals as part of the community of concern and interest with respect to what's going on here have also stepped up to contribute through their networks, as well as we've seen with other countries around the world.
Mm-hmm. So can we expect more assistance as well in coming few days?
Well, the first shipment arrived yesterday. We have another shipment arriving in a few days along the lines of what I've just discussed. And every day I'm getting calls or reach outs from Canadians or Canadian companies or organizations wanting to do more. So we certainly expect more to follow in the coming days, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of cooperation both countries are having, both India and Canada, in terms of fighting the war or the battle against COVID pandemic? We know that India also sent vaccines to you. And specifically, if you can also talk about your vaccination drive, because interestingly, Canada has opened vaccination for children above 12 and of course beyond.
So we've been cooperating on tackling COVID since last year, since the beginning of the pandemic. Our foreign ministers have spoken a number of times over the past year, including very recently as well. Our prime ministers have spoken as well in ways, in addressing ways to collaborate together to tackle COVID in Canada, in India, and of course around the world. And both countries feel that we will not defeat COVID in one country alone. It will only be defeated when all countries have defeated it. And therefore, it's imperative that we all collaborate. And areas include pharmaceuticals, vaccine. Canada was quite grateful of India's support around procuring vaccines. We continue to work on these initiatives we've just discussed around the current situation here. And of course, multilaterally as well, looking at ways in which we could help other countries out. And certainly that is the way we're doing. The vaccination drive in Canada is well underway, and our vaccination drive is based on science. It's science-based approach, and therefore any changes to our vaccine protocols are done based on science through our National Advisory Committee on Vaccine Administration.
Mm-hmm. So my last question to you is, we know that the US has extended support when it comes to waiver on vaccine patents. More and more countries are now speaking out, whether it's Switzerland, Europe, Russia. What has been the stance of Canada? Do we expect the Canadian stance to also change?
We've also spoken out. Our trade minister made a statement a couple of days ago on this, and we've indicated that we certainly look forward to exploring initiatives to combat COVID-19. On this particular issue, we would welcome an opportunity to look at any proposals specifically before the WTO, and that's where we're at. And certainly, I think these initiatives are important for us to consider, as are other countries as well.
WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.